Hey there, folks. And now we're going to be talking about the vocabulary lesson, which is 136. Now we're up to 136, okay? So now we're going to be talking about permitted, permit, and prohibit, and prohibited, and prohibition. So here we go. So we're going to be talking about permit. So permit is give authorization or consent to someone to do something. The law permits councils to monitor any factory emitting smoke. Similar is allow, let, authorize, sanction, grant someone the right, license, empower, enable, entitle, qualify, consent to, assent to, give one's consent, assent to, give one's blessing to, give someone something to nod, acquiesce in, acquiesce, new word. Agree to, assent to, accede, new word. Approve of, tolerate, countenance, suffer, brook, admit of, legalize, legit, legitimize. You say legitimize. That's a new word that I've never heard of before in my life. Wow. Legitimate. Give the go ahead to, give the thumbs up to, okay? Give the okay to, give the green light to, say the word, opposite, ban, forbid, prohibit, driver's permit, learner's permit. And over here, permit means to allow. He was permitted to go back to the festival. He was fishing at a pond. There was a sign that says most need permit. Most need permit to fish. Permitted means something is allowed to do. You are permitted to enter this park. Driver's permit means you don't have a license yet. You need an adult in the passenger seat when you drive. That's the point. Learner's permit means it's the same thing with the permit. Permitted, permitting. To consent to expressly or formally. Permit access to records, to give leave. Authorize, to make possible. The design permits easy access. Intransitive verb, to give an opportunity. Allow, if time permits. A written warrant or license granted by one having authority. A gun permit. The judge permitted the release of the prisoner. Smoking is not permitted in the building. When we arrived at customs, we realized we had more than the permitted number of items. He permitted himself one more cookie. The new ramp permits easier access to the highway. To consent to, give permission, allow. To make possible, give an opportunity if time permits. Permit, a written statement of permission given by one having authority. License, a written warrant or license granted by one having authority. A building permit. Number one, to allow to do something. Permit me to explain. Number two, to allow to be done or occur. The law does not permit the sale of such drugs. Number three, to tolerate, agree to, a law permitting a Roman and a Roman Catholicism. Roman Catholicism in England. Number 4, to afford opportunity for or admit of, thence to permit the escape of gases, permitted, permitting. Number 5, to grant permission, allow liberty to do something. Number 6, to afford opportunity or possibility, right when time permits. Number 7, to allow or admit, usually followed by statements that permit of no denial. Number 8, an authoritative or official certificate of permission, license, a fishing permit. Number 9, a written order granting special permission to do something, transitive verb. If someone permits something, they allow it to happen. If they permit you to do something, they allow you to do it. Formal. He can let the court's decision stand and permit the extradition. The guards permitted me to bring my camera. Synonyms, which is allow, admit, grant, sanction, more. Synonyms of permit. Permit. Countable noun. A permit is an official document which says that you may do something. For example, you usually need a permit to work in a foreign country. He has to apply for a permit and we have to find him a job. Synonyms, which is license, pass, document, certificate, more. Synonyms of permit. A transitive verb. Intransitive verb is like, if a situation permits something, it makes it possible for that thing to exist, happen, or be done, or it provides the opportunity for it. Try to go out for a walk at lunchtime if the weather permits. This method of cooking also permits heat to penetrate evenly from both sides. Synonyms, which is enable, let, allow, cause, more. Synonyms of permit. So number 1, to allow, consent to, tolerate, smoking is not permitted here. Number 2, to give permission to, authorize, to permit the demonstrators to march in the street. Number 3, to give opportunity for, to permit light to enter. Verb intransitive. Number 4, to give opportunity or possibility if the weather permits. Number 5, noun, rare permission, especially in writing. Number 6, a document granting permission, license, warrant. Number 7, a printed postal indicia, INDICIA. Never heard of that. Stamped ticket, ETC. Postal permit, parking permit. That's what it says. Permit is like permission. It makes you allowed to do something with authorization. You are not permitted to park over here. Otherwise, it will be towed away. Permit means to allow. When you permit your brother to come into your room, you let him in. You can always kick him back out if he messes with your stuff. To permit means to let someone do something. It comes from the Latin permittere. Permittere. Never heard of that. Which means give up, allow, to pass through. You might feel like you gave up when you permitted your brother to enter your room. As a noun, a permit is a document that lets you do something, like when you get a driver's permit to learn to drive, or a gun permit to carry a gun, or even a construction permit to build an addition to your house. A verb, allow the presence of or allow an activity without opposing or prohibiting. Children are not permitted beyond this point. Synonyms, which is allow, tolerate. type of, allow, countenance, let, consent to, give permission. Number 2, verb, which is consent to, give permission. She permitted her son to visit her estranged husband. Synonyms, which is allow, countenance, let, allow, grant, let have. Permit means to allow. Permit means to allow. Permit means to allow. Okay? That's what that means. And then next here, all right, so permit, no. Prohibit. So I'm gonna do this now. Prohibit. You know what? I'm gonna do the next video, so stick around, folks.